All right, we are gonna make some magic happen right here. To this. All right, so this boring old space is gonna get a makeover, and we're starting today. What we're gonna do is turn this space into something like this. So this is the inspiration from my aquascape calendar that I've been staring at. So I have some leftover urns and things like that I bought several months ago, and also a bunch of leftover boulders. Actually, they're not leftover. Whenever I go and pick boulders for jobs, I will sometimes run across things that are super unique that either they're gonna go on a project or I grab them for myself because I just love the way they look. So I've got a handful of nice big character boulders over there that I've got in mind for putting right here, along with some of our stacked slate urns and a couple of spill bowls. So I've got a kind of a weird idea that I want to do, and we're going to try to make that happen this week. Okay, so it's like 107 degrees towards the end of our work day. We decided to come get started on a new display feature over at my place. Okay, so when doing these projects, especially in different locations like front yards, you always got to be careful of what you're going to run into. Highly recommend calling your local locating service. It's typically 811, call before you dig. I did that a long time ago when I moved in here, so they didn't locate any lines, but I located a line. Now it's pretty deep, but locating service would have never found this. There's not a guide wire to indicate this water line being underground. And the bad thing about this particular water line, it's my main water supply for my house. So I've got to go get a couple parts. I don't have enough to cut it and reroute it. So not a big deal, but always want to be prepared and be careful when you're digging. Always use a spotter, basically somebody watching the excavation as you dig. Marcy was out at lunch and I decided to get with it and start digging. And that's when I found the telephone wire, and nobody was telling me to stop before I saw it pulled up out of the ground. Not that big a deal. We have cell phones. So the main thing that I want to stress is safety and prepping your job sites before you get started. And again, things happen, and I would never have foreseen this, but we know what to do, and we'll get it taken care of. All right, so it's like 20 to 8, and my wheels are spinning. We're way behind where we should be, because we've got little things that are coming up, and this is not a paying job, so if I have an emergency, we're breaking away immediately. And, you know, the snafu that we had with the water supply line to my house, that set us back a little bit. But anyways, we should make some pretty good headway tomorrow, I think. And I'm really excited with what we're going to do. And I'm going to get a little funky with things. I'm going to break out the grinder, and I'm going to cut away on some expensive fountain pieces and see if we can make something really unique. Okay, so it's about 10 to 7 in the morning, and we've been at it for about an hour now, and we got to get started early, man. It gets hot out here, so we are lucky to be working on the shade side of the house right now, but you can see Marcelino is shaping up the bottom of our excavation. For our aqua blocks is going to be 8 feet wide by 7 feet, and you can see we've gone quite a bit down, but this is a big mound that we're dealing with. So this is right about here is our grade elevation, like where we're standing. But I want the urns to have the appearance like they're sunken down. So you'll see the reason why we had to go so deep. While digging the footprint for the pump vault, Marcelino found this. That is a conduit for a power line, probably for the columns out on my the front driveway, because that's too small to be for the main line for the house. But so obviously we've got a hurdle to work with, so we're going to move that pump vault a little bit closer this way, and we'll have to cut one of the aqua blocks to accommodate that, and then put another cut aqua block behind. So this is just a small hurdle, but easily overcome. All right, so our first line of protection under this liner is the geotextile non-woven fabric. So that is installed, and then we've got our liner down, that 45 mil EPDM rubber liner. And on top of that, we're also putting another layer of protection of underlayment. So right now we've got that first one down. Now we've got to do an overlap piece. And the reason why we do that is it's cheap insurance, and also these aqua blocks can have, you know, a sharp turn to them. So once there's several tons of stone on top of this, it's evenly dispersed, but there's a lot of contact with the liner, and we want to just have insurance that that liner is not going to get a sharp edge. So we've got our liner sandwiched with the geotextile. Okay, so all the aqua blocks are installed. We've got our pump vault situated. It's a little different than what we planned on, but that's a result of that immovable electric conduit that was under there. So we did not disturb that conduit. We moved our box a little bit, and we just had to get creative with some of our aqua blocks, so really no big deal. Next, what we're gonna do is start folding our fabric over, then our liner, then our other layer of fabric, and then backfilling, so we tighten up all these edges all around the excavation, and that'll lock all these aqua blocks in nice and tight. And then after that, we'll start stacking some rocks. All right, so I think we've got a pretty good plan in place. Things are starting to really come clear to us of what we want to do. And then we get our jam coming on the radio, so we dance. So the idea here is I'm potentially thinking I'm gonna cut the bowl and this urn and have a nice boulder. I've got already one picked out, and that will be a waterfall cascade coming over. And this bowl, typically it overflows all over, but we're gonna notch out here and have two spillways coming out of it. And then we'll do the same with this bowl. We'll notch that out, fill it up with gravel, have some nice plants in it. Same with this guy up here. And in between the bottom bowl down here and this urn, we'll have another boulder coming across for a cascade dropping in and disappearing into the gravel. Oh no, she wanted to take control.
How do you turn?
That's why you wear a seatbelt. Be careful of my truck.
How do I turn?
No, you're gonna back on.
Huh?
You're gonna back on. There you go. Back straight up. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay. All right, so we are a little behind where we want to be, but that's all right. It's a beautiful day. We have got cloud coverage. We don't even need this guy. It was threatening for rain, and there was like 7 drops, so I guess we needed a little bit. Ooh. There's the race car back there. All right, so this is where we ended with on Friday. I'm gonna tinker around out here a little bit, but I really like the way things are panning out. Love the big boulder accents. It's raining? Serious? Yeah, this is not for shade today. It's actually a umbrella, a very leaky umbrella. But anyways, let me show you where we're at with the fountain feature. Okay guys, so we are getting really close here. Right now I am cutting some liner back here for my false bottom. So this is all backfilled with gravel. Then I'm cutting this, I'll foam around, and then we'll put more gravel on top, and then our water is gonna come spilling right out over this rock. So check it out. This is now what it looks like after we've done our foaming. So we had it nice and cut, just a small gap between the surfaces, and then we put our bead of foam all the way around. And when I laid that liner down, it actually, that foam just kind of folded over and sandwiched the edge of that liner. So now it's not going to be 100% solid. It will leak in a couple places, but surely not enough to notice. And now we've got everything directed to come right over this weir right here. All right, so we got 2 pumps running this. We've got an AquaSurge 3000 giving us our waterfalls, and then a 5000 for our different features. So we've got the 1 inch or 1.5 inch bulkheads for the stack slate urns to give us a little bit heavier water up top. Okay, so Allison, what do you like about your new waterfall?
I love the sound, of course, and I just like the different elevations.
No, you have to look here.
I love the sound and just the different elevations of the bowls and the urns and this flat rock right here.
What is it about that flat rock that you like?
Well, those are my favorite kind of features, where it's kind of a sheer, I think it's called sheer waterfall. Is that what it's called? It's my favorite kind.
All right.
Okay.
So when I explained this feature to you,
I had no idea. I thought it was just going to be fountains, and then you kept saying pondless waterfall, and I had no clue of anything. So it's amazing.
So if you were a customer and I gave you this explanation of what I was going to do in your yard, and you just wanted something nice, I mean, how would that have gone?
Well, I probably would have told you what I wanted, but this was all you, so.
So how could I have done something different to help you along this journey?
It's me, it's not you.
Everybody heard that, right? That's all I need.
Okay.